Let's talk about trading psychology. This video is for you if you want to pass a prop firm challenge and become a CPT, but struggle with psychology. In this video, you will learn 5 tips related to psychology that will help you pass your first prop firm challenge. Only one of these, though, is directly related to prop firm challenges, but it's an important one, so you'll want to stay tuned. Let's talk about why trading psychology is so tough. Money, performance, and skill all play a role in trading psychology. When gaining money or accomplishing something, your mind releases a neurotransmitter called dopamine in your brain. That's the reason why it feels so great when you win a trade, pass a funded challenge, or get a withdrawal. One guy on IG said, hitting a take profit felt better than sex, which also releases dopamine. Your brain rewards you for anything that increases the likelihood of survival or reproduction, which is why dopamine releases when earning money. New money will increase your chances of feeding your family, providing shelter, increasing your status, or living out your dreams. For example, assume that you're standing in front of your trading platform. You're currently down and don't see any good setups. You can choose to walk away or take another trade. Your brain will tell you to pick the one that may promise the most dopamine. It knows that it will make you feel more pleasure if you end the day in green rather than in red. So naturally, you choose to trade again. Let's say you win. The harm in this is that when your brain releases a lot of dopamine, it will try to stimulate that craving for that thing over and over again until you develop an urge for it. And that is when addiction can kick in and cause you to repeat the same bad habits. For this reason, people blow their savings, fail challenges repeatedly, and cannot seem to stop over trading and keep abandoning their plan. This is such an important issue that professional firms have in-house risk managers to help traders from spiraling out of control and blowing their account. The thing is that dopamine doesn't know what is good for us and what isn't. It doesn't know that trading without a playbook with edge will hurt you. All it sees is a potential of pleasure without any context, and for this reason, traders will blow all of their money before they stop trading. The terrifying reality is that there are many companies who exploit this deeply rooted reward system. There are experts specifically designing their products and internet platforms to release as much dopamine as possible in order to make us come back over and over again. The gamification of trading, leaderboards in internet prop firms, and phone apps that make trading easy all can contribute to the dopamine hits that we take. It is scientifically proven that dopamine has a direct influence on the decisions we make and the actions we take. That's why ultimately dopamine controls many retail traders on a daily basis and why thousands of traders lose money. Now that we've talked about dopamine, how can you start to take the control over your mind, have better control in the markets, and conquer some of the challenges in regards to psychology? Tip number 1, accept random outcome. Most traders place a trade and believe that they know what will happen after the trade. This is an illogical thought. The truth is, when you place a trade, you can never be certain of the outcome unless you are participating in insider trading. I'll show you what I mean. Abdullah the trader goes long after seeing his confirmations. At the same time that he goes long, an institutional trader decides to aggressively buy, pushing the price higher until Abdullah's trade hits TP. Question is, who made the market move? Abdullah or the institutional trader? The institutional trader. If Abdullah is not careful, he will take a dopamine hit and attribute his win to the wrong thing. Mark Douglas talks about how after working in institutions and knowing some of the big traders, he realized that sometimes the move that you are waiting on doesn't happen because the institutional traders are out at lunch.
If they don't come in, it means, you know what? The guys that bought here and bought here, they might be out to lunch. And that happens. I am not kidding you. I know that for a fact. I've experienced it because I intimately knew, a lot of the big traders in certain markets that would buy here and buy here. And I'm thinking, okay, they're coming back in, and they were out to lunch. Say, hey, where were you guys? But to the typical trader that doesn't think this way, what's going to happen? If he manages to get the trade on, it's going to be because he thinks he's right. Because he thinks he knows what's going to happen next. And he's not going to put in a stop because to predefine his risk, how much money does he have to, how much room and dollar-wise, how much room distance of the dollar value of this distance that he has to give the market to tell him that this trade is either working or it's not, or that to let it go any further isn't worth finding out. That's all it means to me. But he's not going to think that way. He's going to think by gathering evidence that this trade might not work, he might be talking himself out of taking it. And so by the time he actually manages to get this order in the market and buy somewhere in here, he has convinced himself that he's right.
So let's modify the scenario slightly. Abdullah the trader takes the trade, but the same institutional trader decides to aggressively buy at a lower point. Price stops Abdullah out and then goes his way. There is not any way that he could have known for sure what another trader will be doing in any part of the world. It's impossible. So therefore, becoming emotional is irrational. Instead of becoming emotional, he must design a system where he wins more than he loses. And over a series of trades, he comes out net positive. So if you always expect random outcome, then you will think twice before overtrading, revenge trading, getting FOMO, etc. Now, on to tip number 2. Ensure that your system has an edge in the market. Some say, if the outcome is random, then how do we make money? We have to find a system that gives us an edge within the random moments, gives us an edge to win more than we lose. Many traders don't know what edge is, and secondly, they have not compiled a playbook. Many people say that psychology is first, but one of the highest performers in the industry recently cleared it up for me by saying that edge supersedes psychology. If you put psychology first, then you're putting the cart before the horse. If your trading strategy has no edge, then it doesn't matter how good your psychology is. You still won't come out on top. For example, a trading strategy with a 20% win rate and 1-to-1 R&R will leave you negative net profit, even if you trade it properly with discipline and perfect psychology. This is a losing strategy. You cannot make consistent money with it. If you have doubt, fear, hesitate to take trades, it may be that you have not validated that your trading strategy has edge for yourself. Ask yourself this question right now. Have I personally validated that my strategy has an edge in the market? Have I proven that to myself by paper trading and demo trading over a series of a few months? If not, this may be part of the problem that you're hesitating and cannot follow your process. Tip number 3, normalize losses. You must normalize and befriend your losses. I break up trading losses into 3 types. Number 1, probability losses. Your system and context for your trade lined up, but the outcome still wasn't what you expected. These probability losses are unavoidable, but we can account for them in our trading system. Number 2, execution errors. Your confirmations weren't present, but you took the trade. You entered too early, you held the trade too long, etc. These are errors on your part. Number 3, the market changes. Sometimes the market will change and your edge will no longer be valid, or you will need to modify it. The institutional traders are different than they were 20 years ago. With the advent of new technology, automated trading, robots, etc., sometimes your edge may be invalidated. So you have to stay close to your losses so that you can figure out if your edge needs to be modified or changed. Back to the probability losses though. I have a simulator for those in my group to help them normalize losses, but you can also do this through guided imagery. Let's hear Dr. Steenbarger talk about guided imagery to help with losses.
And we will do some guided imagery to have them mentally rehearse scenarios in which they hit their stop levels and they keep themselves calm and they keep themselves focused while they're going through this guided imagery. And they do that again and again and again and again. And pretty soon the feeling of hitting your stop and getting stopped out is something that becomes familiar to them, not threatening to them, and they're able to keep themselves calm and controlled. And so it is, in a sense, reprogramming their emotional responses to a situation they had experienced as threatening. And that is happening at an emotional level. And so you could say that it's subconscious.
Like Dr. Steenbarger recommended, I practice guided imagery exercises after my morning prayer. I visualize the TP and the SL being hit and how I will respond to both. Number 4, give yourself time to develop competence. Trading is a performance-based mental sport. The stages in any performance-based skill can be broken down into 3: novice, competent, and expert. Let's look at these from the perspective of a medical doctor. Medical doctors would never read a book or take one course and start trying to do surgery on a patient. They shadow proficient doctors for months or even years performing some operations. Most traders read a book, skim through a course, and jump into the live market way too soon. Most traders don't become confident in the demo long enough. The demo is where all traders should start and spend their time. If you visit a prop firm, the professional firms, the hedge funds, they send their traders through rigorous training in the demo. They're developing confidence in the playbook. They're developing confidence in their ability to execute. They're normalizing losses all in the demo before going live. And if they have a slump, they send them back to the demo. The demo, or sim trading, is very important for traders to develop confidence and competence. I answer hundreds of DMs these days, and most people have not gained consistency in the demo or beat one of the prop firm free trials. And they're trying to battle the psychology of losing money in a live account. Give yourself more time to gain consistency in the demo. Last but not least, this is the one that is related directly to prop firm challenges and the rules around them. Number 5, don't focus on the profit target. Let us hear from Dr. Steenbarger on this one.
One of the problems that affects traders and affects people in all performance fields is something called performance anxiety. And performance anxiety arises when we become so concerned about the outcome of the performance that it starts to interfere with the process of performing. And so if I'm a public speaker and I become very worried about how my audience is going to think of me and whether they're going to be interested in my topic, well, pretty soon I'll forget what I'm speaking about. So by putting the profit and loss, a P&L, front and center in our goals, we're emphasizing outcomes, and that can put pressure on us and interfere with processes. Sometimes markets offer more opportunity than others, and to have a fixed P&L goal doesn't really take that into account. What I would rather do as an outcome-related goal is look at improvement. So am I improving from month to month, year to year in my trading performance?
So have you noticed that all prop firms have very similar trading terms? Why is that? Because of something called performance anxiety. Most traders have not accepted random outcome. They don't have a playbook with proven edge. They haven't normalized losses. They haven't proven to themselves that they are competent. And on top of all of that, they focus too much on the profit target. This increases performance anxiety and impacts a trader's psychology. So if you can build a system before starting the challenge, before going live, that you gain confidence in, if you have a playbook that you center your trading around, and you are able to book positive months in the demo, positive months before you take the challenge, when you actually take the challenge or you actually go live, you focus on the process, you focus on that system that you built instead of the money. It will reduce the amount of anxiety you get. I hope that these 5 tips helped you. At the end of the day, the best place to go to get help with your psychology is a trading psychologist or therapist. FTMO offers 1 psychology session each month as a funded trader. These have improved my trading significantly. Please like and subscribe. If you want to see how to build a playbook, watch this video.